Talking to him would be pretty swell right now. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! Looks like he's writing something. Hey, what are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Okay. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live with the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Well, I've come to discuss a wide array of various things with you. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Well, that just sucks. I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Yeah, well, he did have that minor freakout. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? Huh. First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. It's almost like you want to be my friend or something. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Too bad, you can't stop this hug train. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought the case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time there was only one thing on my mind. I'd use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seemed strange about it. Oh, is that the game's way of saying, yo, you should show him that picture? Alright. Hold the phone and yeah. Does this mean anything to you? The picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Look at it, look at it, look at it! Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? That trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yep, okay, well, with a much clearer image. Yeah, it's, clearly missing a chunk of something. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it. A story? Sounds interesting. Oh, would you mind telling me what it is? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Oi. Could you be a bit more descriptive? It'd just be thank you. It obviously means something or we wouldn't be talking about it. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Old-timey. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Huh. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other! That was unnecessary, but yeah, that is true. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description... It's like that was instinct, he just did that. Very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Huh. Learn something new every dang day. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, we had the halberd part of the award abolished. That's interesting. Chief Gant, yet another thing making him suspicious. Alright, now tell me about that crime. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. Well, you very easily could have. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yeah, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. Time out to the nth degree. Okay, so hold up. Remember my theory about how Goodman was killed in at the police department, and then the body was brought back to the prosecutor's office to explain how it got there? Well, the question is, how did he do that if he was dead? Answer: Chief Gant stuffed it in Edgeworth's truck and said, "Hey, go drive back to the prosecutor's office with this screwdriver, stupid." And then Edgeworth was all like, "Yeah, okay." And then he did, and then boom, the body was there. Now, I still don't entirely understand why Lana, like, had to... I guess she stabbed a corpse? I mean, that would explain how what Angel Sky said was true, which means that while Lana didn't murder him, she would have still stabbed a corpse. I'm not sure how much of a crime stabbing a corpse is. But I think I'm onto something. That's how. Maybe it wasn't put... Maybe he wasn't being... maybe Lana wasn't stowing... Yeah, Lana wasn't stowing him away in the trunk. She was taking him out of it. Yeah. Yeah, because I can only assume that, well, Gant's the most, like, the only person around who could still be possibly the culprit of all of this, so I'm assuming it was him. I can only assume he killed Gant. Gant killed himself. No, he killed Goodman and then stuffed the body in the trunk. And then Edgeworth just kind of unknowingly complied to moving a body, which would explain how it got over there. And I think that makes sense. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to, which is suspicious as all get out. That's right. Yeah, alright. Alright, so... is there anything else that I'm supposed to be showing you? I can't say I know. That piece of paper you threw, is that, like, actually, like, a part of the area now? Oh, hey! It actually is. Yoink! I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right here. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what that girl's crawling in around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. What? Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. When is he ever not? Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Oh, well, if you're gonna say it out front like that, yeah, I can think of a use for it. Alright. Alright, if there's anybody on the planet who would be freakishly shocked and appalled by this, it's definitely Gumshoe. Excuse me. Whoop, ew, it's you again. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. I mean, yeah, when you really think about it, the first guy to do that was definitely a weirdo. Still, I never thought you'd... I'm sorry. There's just something inherently funny about the word nipple. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident, and I call bupkiss on all that noise. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day of the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? Yeah, well, I'm kind of banking on the theory that she stabbed somebody who was already dead, so it's not technically murder. I'm not sure if mutilation is a crime. Well, mutilation probably. Mutilation of a corpse? I think that would be up to the people who would care about what you did to it. So, I'm not sure. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. And my stupid hat knows all. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred towards Lana. My goodness, it all dates back to 2 years ago. Alright, Miss Lady McLadyface, start telling me some information. Joe Dark, that's a name I'll not soon forget. You know, he kind of ruined my life and everything, and what have you. We trailed him for a half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Gross. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? No, because he stubbed his toe earlier in the day. What the hell do you think? They were close, those two. Almost as if they were brothers, perhaps. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Dun 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 dun! Lana and Chief Gant. The very obvious, like, he has to be the instigator and the root of all of this. I'm not sure why he did the latter, or if he's actually involved in the former, but, I mean, something's fishy, something got changed, something got fabricated, he's apparently the one who did it. It all comes together at some point. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we're so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. But you didn't have any proof anything illegal was done. And I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Okay. Interesting. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Here's that photo again in case you've missed it the first 7 times. 2 years ago, Ganton was chief detective and Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. Which is weird, because when I see him, I see a really kind of creepy, starey guy. And I'm not a big fan of that. His magnetism? By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. Ah, okay. Not people, objects. Makes sense. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled, almost as if he fabricated them somehow. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. Well then why would things escalate to the point they were if everyone assumed, or at least believed, that were the case? No one dared confront him though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have recovered from the shock. Oh, damn. Wow, if that's Marshall having recovered from the shock, I'd kind of hate to see how he'd end up without that. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why. I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Well, we're kinda trying to figure that out. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and that no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he can control the chief prosecutor, he can control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. You know, I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry I made fun of your hat. You may be a bit of a stuffy jerk, but you're definitely on the up and up. Alright then, so... let's see here. If I could find myself a good Sir Mr. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun Gumshoe! What I originally set out to do! Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admit, your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. I gotta do it. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. I have a theory! I'm gonna... whoa, bring it. There we go. Ah, take a look at this. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. At first I thought he was as cold as ice, but now I know different. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, but we betrayed him. Detective? That's it. I've made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. You can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. Oh, damn. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. All right, detective, thank you. You're a real stand-up guy, and you prove that to me every single time we meet. All right, to the chief! His office! Not him specifically, because that dude's scurry. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Click. Beep. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Foreboding music. Open sesame! If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you two to bail me out. Ah! Ah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Crumpled Gumshoe's ID card in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card. Y'all a goober. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. We're all in this together. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh yeah, we're totally gonna get caught. Alright, well, what have you got to say about all this nonsense? That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? I'm not really talking to Gumshoe about that. Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant, and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Well, then obviously I gotta, like, look around all over the dang place, obviously. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a little bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You just don't go at it like that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? Oh, hells to the yeah. What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do we think of him? I think of him as an extraordinarily eccentric weirdo, probably involved with a lot of shady doings. So it's finally come to this. No one can wear that much orange and not be evil. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings. Yet. There he goes, ignoring me again. Alright then. Let us examine some stuff. Alright, well, the first things first. Let's rummage around inside his desk. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Shwiggity, shwiggity, shwiggity. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence used in a case. List of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this. Aha! Hey, look at the case name. Huh? SL9 incident? I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what. No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. Edgeworth has the other half! He's concealing evidence! That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. My perfect hair says so. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. I'm just going to hide that in my pants. Thank you, good sir. Alright, so definitely rummaged all about over that. Okay, might as well look at everything. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. And if you... That's a crime, woman! Be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Alright, so looking around. More stuff to poke at. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Well, okay, if you do. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? No, you goober. Nope. Please don't tell me I'm the one who has to put it in. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. And you actually want me to put it in? I don't flipping know! Okay. I don't... Wait! Wait a second. Code confirmed! Holy crap! Holy corp crops! Bingo! What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? Super 7. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered that room that day. You mean 777777777? That ID number? I think you're 1 7 shy this time. Just gonna need one more thing. That Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? I just want to see Gumshoe's heavy breathing. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's a shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? I'll tell you where you've seen it before, on a shattered jar. Yeah. There's something else in here, too. What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. With a big ol' handprint on it. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up that design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. Huh. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. But unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now you have to prove that relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective. Alright, well, I don't know anything about that cloth, but... We do have this giant honkin' thing. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? All of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. Ah! Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Let's assemble some fragments. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Hey, Mr. Wright, here's some glue. He needs some milk. If I could piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. I already see where this game is going with this. I remember they were talking about like a whole bunch of stuff about evidence law and something about it having to go through the proper channels and whatnot to be actual evidence. I'm willing to bet I can't use this stuff in court. I'm willing to bet it's one big old trick. There, it fits like a charm. If that's the case, I gotta store that in my brain bank. It'll probably come in handy later. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident, like a criminal would do. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. What, you mean the fact that it's all red? There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood! I don't get it! Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? I don't know, but it's my evidence now. Alright, but we also need the leather cloth, obviously. So, what on earth can I do? Ah! Okay, well maybe... I mean, it's a handprint, and I haven't had to use this stuff in a while. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. You're a honkin' genius. All right, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. Y'all a big old dummy-dum. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? Uh-huh. Alright. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Alright. I'm not sure a thumbprint would work. I'm guessing that's probably the best one we're gonna get. Alright, now it's time for a dash of powders. I must use far more than is absolutely necessary. This is important for reasons, and you can't stop me. In fact, give me a second. And there we go. Haha! Wasteful spending! Don't even care! OBKB, that's definitely a fingerprint. Okay, so I guess I gotta check all the ones that I guess it would be. That's obviously not it. Kinda wish I could just sort of... I wish I could just stop the matches when it's obviously not the right one. No, that doesn't match. It looks like we're out of clues this time. Yeah. But it was inside the chief's safe. Right. Along with that shard. So that means it's gotta have something to do with that incident. The one that happened right here in this room. Right. We should check the fingerprints of everyone who was in here that day. The way I see it, there's a higher power at work here. You just gotta have faith. Okay, so everybody who was in the room. Well, I don't have Marshall's brother's prints anywhere. And Joe Dark isn't here, which means the only other person in there was Emma. Well, that's weird. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, have you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? It seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Zoop, zoop. Throw that in the trash. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Well, wait. I don't know. We don't have those prints. Hey, you. Over here. Yes, Gumshoe? What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Yeah, maybe you should hold on to this. But it's not going through the channels. Evidence law. It's like Murphy's Law, or Brannigan's Law. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? Oh crap, we're about to get hurt. Last time I got caught by somebody when I was snooping through stuff, I got tased. In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Chief Gant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then! I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now get out. Oh, you are so getting convicted. Yes, sir. For the sake of Gumshoe, you're going down. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait. You, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed... Oh, you with the spiky hair. You're free to go. Mr. Wright? I'm not a fan of what that could be. Look, pal, if I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no! You just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture here. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time. Anyway, you listen to me! I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the Chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Oi. Okay. Oh, hey, how's it going? I see. So the Chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing! Not a single useful thing! Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. The one who stabbed Detective Goodman, perhaps, but not the one who murdered him! You know, I think I finally figured it out. who it is you're hiding behind those words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Now start talking down like a crazy clown. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. Oh, damn. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of? What is this person's name? It's like I even have to say it. Well, Miss Sky? What you got to say about that, Mr. Wright? You are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Wait, what? Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? Oh, okay, I guess that was right. Thank you. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both of you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of the investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Well, there's the fact that the cloth and the jar. You want proof of the chief's wrongdoings? Here it is. That evidence proves someone is doing something wrong, all right, but it's not the chief. Who would that be? Why, you, of course. Me? Yes. You seriously believe what you're saying, don't you? Now that's scary. You seem to have the markings of a criminal in you, what with all your malicious accusations. Care to spend tonight in the next cell? If you ask me, you're the scary one. Okay. Am I meant to be presenting, I guess, the jar? Showing evidence isn't going to do me any good now. I've got to get Lana to tell me everything she's hiding. Mr. Wright, you're evolving by leaps and bounds. I'm starting to see the hunger in your eyes. Okay, so I need to get her to talk to me, but I can't use evidence to do it? Team picture! Okay. This thing! This thing! Then okay, I have absolutely no idea. Can I go anywhere else? Oh, I need to hear what Lana has to say, then I can finish up the investigation. Okay. Oh, maybe I have to go through the thing again? Alright, so hang on. Alright, then we'll use this big honkin' jar! I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this strip of cloth, but I used this. Okay, whatever. I don't know why. That's weird. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all this blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. What were your orders, woman? Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. Boom shakalaka-laka-ding, I got it. Sorry, that's inappropriate, but whatever. You'll find it inside the trunk of Al Edgeworth's car! That's a lot of detail. Thank you. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, You were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife! I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. And a star! So I was right! You did stab Goodman! But not fatally! Because he was already fatally stabbed. Why did you need to hide Drake's knife so bad? Or Dark's knife, Drake, ugh. Eyesight, glasses, gotta get better ones. I took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be open again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have had a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right, then I called my sister. Oh, we gonna actually get an answer for that? To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? Didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident. About Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Grant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. And we, kinda know where that all went. Disguised himself as Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? Interesting. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. And to the bottom of everything I shall certainly go. Detective Goodman's real murderer. Obviously Gant. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. That I'm not so certain of. I'm not sure what the whole Emma handprint thingy is all about. About what exactly went on there. Something went down that forced Lana to be some sort of subservient stooge for Gant. This is all very interesting. And we're gonna get right down to the bottom of it once and for all. I can feel it deep down in my bones. This is the last trial. Whew. Alright, hope you guys had a fantastic time. And I'll see you all next time for the truth to be revealed. See you then.